4 match beginning this one. It's between Eddie Enright and Lenny Pinto, 2 ranked wrestlers on both sides, getting us underway here.
Yeah, Lenny Pinto transferred from Nebraska, 3-time NCAA qualifier, lost 4 of his last 5, but all those matches he's lost are against top 20 foes. You see right there, the veteran presence taking over an early takedown.
Ready to go, already getting that takedown, already establishing dominance early in the match. He moves toward the edge of the mat. And an escape there for Northwestern.
And I'm excited for this match. I mean, even despite the early takedown, Eddie Enright showed some, some true poise to start the season. Even last week against Levi Haynes. Haynes had some trouble in the first period there, of course, kind of took over as the match went on, but got a little bit of a scramble position right there. If he can get that mat return, he can get the takedown. He's close. Pinto's such a good scrambler. He's showing right there. He's trying to get a turn right there. He's close. He's got to switch his hips. He's in a good position right now. He gets the takedown. He's trying to get a turn right there. Got a couple swipes. It's close. Man, that was close right there.
Close to some near fall points, and you see 2 ranked wrestlers looking to score early.
What a scramble. That was fun to watch. Enright doing such a good job right there. Pinto, he's kind of winning that scramble right away. We'll see right there. He was just trying to go with the takedown, but he kind of collected that shoulder. If he could have held that for a second, that could have easily been a fall. Good sequence there from Eddie Enright to take advantage.
A good response early after losing out on that initial takedown. Enright starts up on top and will try to score more here.
And he's good in the top position. He's long, and that definitely benefits you in a weight class like this. When you got a couple inches on a guy, you can use those legs. You see him early trying to get that left leg on the inside. See if he can do anything here in the top position. Pinto's going to be a hard guy to turn, though.
Under a minute and a half to go in the first period of the first match, Northwestern and Rutgers. Enright, the redshirt first year, going up against the more experienced Pinto, but both have firepower. You mentioned Hayden, the match for Enright against Haynes of Penn State last time out, lost by tech fall, but was certainly one where he was willing to be aggressive and stay competitive.
Yeah, right. And it wasn't even he was aggressive at times, but it wasn't that he was, he wasn't scared of, the mission at all. I thought the first period I was pretty impressed with how Haynes kind of struggled against Enright. And, looking at that match, Haynes is the heavy favorite, and he came out on top. But, we're going to talk about it throughout these matches. Both these teams have went through Penn State, and what do you learn through those, matches against the top guys, in NCAA wrestling?
Rutgers, no stranger to facing top teams. Has faced 4 ranked opponents this season, including #1 Penn State, a 46-0 loss to them. Northwestern lost 51-0 to Penn State in the last matchup against the Nittany Lions, the most dominant team by far in collegiate wrestling.
What a ride here from Enright. You saw right away, that first whistle is so important. Can you get in a position right away? If you're on bottom, we see that first stall warning right there. What happens in those, milliseconds when that whistle blows? Or, are you getting your feet? And Pinto did a good job, but Enright got a knee in, and he controlled the top position over almost close to 2 minutes of riding time there.
Great response in the first period from Enright, and Pinto able to get out of that frame without losing a stall point to Enright, but ultimately does get the warning there near the end of the first.
And wisely chooses a neutral position here. He had the choice, but he saw what Enright just did in the top position. Chose to go on his feet where he's most comfortable at too, but getting ridden out for 2 minutes, that's tiring. That takes a toll on a body, so we'll see how he wrestles the next 4 minutes.
Enright with the level change, initially unsuccessful here.
Ooh, good move right there. Kind of throwing in some sort of whizzer right there. It looked like Pinto was trying to get that wrist and change the position, kind of a scramble position. We saw a little bit of this earlier. Good job by Enright trying to get that ankle and switch. Now he's in a favorable position as we go back to our feet. Pinto is such a good scrambler. Got himself in a little bit of trouble there, but able to get out of it.
Northwestern bench active in favor of Enright here to get a quick whistle and reset to the center.
And that's a big thing in these matches too. You got your guys right behind you. Enright not the favorite in this match. They want to see it get an upset as he gets to a leg right there. He's got to finish. He crops around. That's got to be close to 3. No call yet. As he goes for neutral danger, and he steps over, gets the 3-point takedown. Good work there from Eddie Enright.
Enright with the leg shot and the takedown, and suddenly he's in a position to potentially get a bonus point win if he can do more. Now he tries to accumulate that riding time here with about 30 seconds to go in the second period. It's already over 2 minutes of riding time advantage. Looking for more and in a great spot.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Pinto comes out in the third period. You know, he's got to get a couple takedowns now. As Enright's doing really good in the top position. Another scramble right here. Got to wrestle on the edge of the match. But we get a potentially dangerous. Ref didn't like what he saw there.
So 6 seconds left in this period, and Hayden, I mean, one of the things we'll see is this Rutgers squad so balanced overall. A lot of ranked wrestlers. For Northwestern to start off like this, and obviously this match far from over, what does this mean for Enright to at least challenge for a potential upset early?
Yeah, I mean, it helps a lot. You know, it sets the tone for the duel, and, you know, that's part of what, you know, when coaches talk about, you want a tone setter, and you see a lot of duels start at 125 pounds, but if you're a coach, you know, you got to decide who do you want to set the tone, and right away, you know, do I think Eddie Enright can get this upset and set the tone for the rest of the duel? He's certainly doing so right now.
Had an 11-4 decision win in his bout, the Wisconsin duel. That was before the loss in the Penn State duel.
Pinto quickly gets to a leg there. Intentional release. He didn't want any business. Didn't like think he could turn Enright, good defense right here. Pinto looked like he had a smooth takedown, but Enright gets to that leg right here in pretty neutral position right here. Wouldn't be surprised to see this go to a stalemate. They keep working. I love it when referees let these guys in these scramble positions. Someone's got to give at some point.
And Pinto will look to get something done. Riding time secured for Enright, but just means all the more work left to be done for Rutgers. But instead, it's Enright picking up the takedown.
What a good takedown right there. You know, this was a spot where Pinto looked like he was going to get the takedown. Then it looked like a stalemate. Man, he persevered right there, and he's been in position to get a major decision. That would be a big win for Eddie Enright. He's looked dominant in this one.
Enright not satisfied, despite being in position to get his squad 4 early points.
Trying to lock up some sort of cradle. He's got to wrestle on the edge of the mat. I don't think he's going to have enough space to do so. He's trying. As we get the whistle, good call by the second official, Jason Wedgbury there. That foot came out early just as he tried to start that cradle.
And when you get in this situation, Hayden, later, maybe in the third period, is this a situation where at this point Pinto's considering maybe he's willing to take a stall point to try to avoid further damage here?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to get pinned in any way, but at the same time, that team point's important, and the only way you could maybe, you know, get this from a major to a regular decision, you got to get back on your feet and try to get another takedown here.
Right now, Enright in a favorable spot. And with 20 seconds to go, it looks all but secured, an early upset victory for the Cats.
Big momentum to start the match. We talked about it. These toss-up matches is how Northwestern's going to take advantage. And Eddie Enright taking out a 3-time NCAA qualifier in Lenny Pinto, his biggest win of the season.
A match they had to have, and Eddie Enright delivers a masterclass with an upset victory by major decision over Lenny Pinto. The Cats take an early 4-0 lead, and coming up next, got another ranked wrestler for Rutgers, Shane Cartagena Walsh, taking on JD Perez for the